Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Imagine discovering your father is one of the most powerful and controversial mutants in history, and then finding out maybe he isn't. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and complicated world of Magneto and his three children. We'll explore how family ties can be both magnetic and repulsive, and why sometimes the truth is more complex than fiction.
And what a story it is. You know, nothing about Magneto can truly be called simple. His family tree is probably one of the most complex in comic book history.
Let's start with probably the most famous of Magneto's children, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. What's her story?
Well, Wanda's story is fascinating. She actually debuted back in 1964 in Uncanny X-Men #4, alongside her twin brother Pietro, as members of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. But here's the kicker. At the time, neither they nor the readers knew they were Magneto's children.
Wait, so they were working for their father without knowing it?
Exactly. And that's just the beginning of the complexity. For years, they believed they were the children of a kindly Romani couple.
But that changed, right?
Oh, it changed multiple times. The relationship between Wanda and Magneto has been incredibly complex. Even after it was revealed he was her father, their relationship remained tense and dramatic.
And then there was that huge twist in 2014, wasn't there?
Yes, during the Axis event, everything changed again. It was revealed that Magneto wasn't actually their biological father after all, and they weren't even mutants.
That must have been quite a shock for fans.
It was one of Marvel's most controversial retcons. In fact, it was so unpopular that even now, 10 years later, fans are still hoping it might be reversed.
Let's talk about Pietro, Quicksilver. How did he handle all these revelations?
Pietro's relationship with Magneto was even more troubled than Wanda's. He was always desperate for Magneto's attention and praise, but Magneto treated him with disrespect and condescension.
That sounds pretty harsh.
It gets worse. According to the search results, Magneto actually murdered Quicksilver after the House of M event.
He killed his own son?
Well, yes, though Pietro was later resurrected, but their relationship was never the same after that. And when it was revealed that Django and Maria Maximoff were his true biological parents, Pietro basically wanted nothing more to do with Magneto.
That's intense. But there's a third child, right? Lorna Dane?
Yes, Polaris. And here's where it gets interesting. She's actually Magneto's only confirmed biological child currently in canon.
Really? How did that come about?
Well, initially, Magneto actually posed as her father to manipulate her into joining him. Their similar magnetic powers made Lorna believe it might be true.
So wait, he pretended to be her father and then turned out to actually be her father?
Exactly, though it wasn't confirmed until much later. Lorna actually had to secretly run tests on Magneto's blood on his island, Genosha, to confirm it.
That's quite a way to find out who your dad is.
And Lorna's story is particularly tragic. She has a complex history with her powers. She accidentally killed her parents as a child when her mutant abilities first manifested.
You mentioned earlier that some of these changes in the family relationships were influenced by business decisions. Can you elaborate on that?
According to recent reports, many fans believe the 2014 retcon about Wanda and Pietro not being Magneto's children was related to movie rights. At the time, Disney didn't own the film rights to X-Men characters.
Ah, so separating them from Magneto meant they could be used in different movies?
Exactly. But now that Disney has purchased 20th Century Fox, those rights issues are resolved. That's why many fans are hoping for another retcon to restore the original family connections.
It's fascinating how real-world business decisions can impact these fictional family relationships.
You know, it reminds me of something interesting. Magneto's own background as a Holocaust survivor actually deeply influences how he relates to his children.
How so?
His extreme protective instincts and fear of persecution come from his own traumatic past. He's determined to prevent his children from experiencing anything similar, even if his methods are sometimes questionable.
That adds another layer to all these family dynamics, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And it's interesting how the genetic aspect of their powers plays into it too. Both Lorna and Magneto have magnetic abilities, which created an immediate connection between them.
But Wanda and Pietro's powers are completely different, right?
Yes, which actually adds some credibility to the revelation that they're not his biological children. Though for decades, fans just accepted that mutant powers don't always manifest the same way in families.
Let's talk about how these relationships have evolved over time.
Well, it's fascinating because Magneto himself has evolved from a pure villain to a much more complex character, largely through his relationships with his children.
How so?
Recent comics show that even though Wanda and Pietro aren't his biological children anymore, they've chosen to maintain a family relationship. It's become more about chosen family than blood ties.
That's actually kind of beautiful.
And with Lorna, his only confirmed biological child now, their relationship has become particularly significant. She's really carrying on his legacy, especially his magnetic powers.
Do you think all these changes and retcons have hurt the story?
That's a complex question. While the constant changes can be frustrating for readers, they've also added layers of complexity to these relationships that might not have existed otherwise.
How do you mean?
Well, now we have this fascinating dynamic where some family bonds are chosen rather than biological, while others, like with Lorna, are confirmed by DNA. It raises interesting questions about what really makes a family.
And I suppose it reflects real-world family complexities, too.
Exactly. Many people have complicated family situations: step-parents, adopted siblings, chosen family. These stories, however messy, reflect that reality.
So what's the current status of these relationships?
According to recent comics, Magneto actually died during the AXE Judgment Day event, though he's since been resurrected. Marvel has been teasing an even greater emphasis on the extended Magneto family in upcoming stories.
Even after all these years, there's still more story to tell.
And that's what makes these characters so enduring. Their relationships continue to evolve and surprise us, just like real families do.
So what's the takeaway from all this?
I think it's that family, whether by blood, choice, or both, is complicated. These stories show us that relationships can survive even the most dramatic changes and revelations.
And sometimes the family you choose is as important as the family you're born into.
Exactly. Whether it's Wanda and Pietro's chosen connection to Magneto, or Lorna's biological bond, what matters is the relationships they've built.
It's pretty amazing how a comic book family can teach us so much about real-world relationships.
And that's the power of these stories. They might involve superpowers and cosmic events, but at their heart, they're about family, in all its complex, messy, wonderful forms.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. Remember, whether your family ties are magnetic or not, it's the connections we choose to maintain that truly define us.